Most seniors don't realize that what they do, or forget to do, in the very first hours of the morning can secretly speed up aging. It's not just about exercise or vitamins. It's small, innocent habits that quietly wear down your heart, memory, joints, and even your immune system without warning. Doctors explain that morning choices set the tone for every major healing process in the body. If you get mornings wrong, you could be adding years of struggle to your future without even feeling it right now. Let's uncover these simple morning mistakes before they quietly steal your strength, energy, and independence. If you care about protecting your health and staying young at heart, hit that like button, subscribe for more life-saving tips, and share your morning routine in the comments. Together we can build stronger, healthier mornings and better futures. When you wake up in the morning, your body is already in a delicate state. Doctors explain that after 7 or 8 hours without water, your blood naturally becomes thicker. The heart has to work harder to pump that sluggish blood through your arteries. At age 60 and beyond, that extra strain is far more dangerous than many people realize. Researchers have observed that morning is one of the riskiest times for heart attacks and strokes, especially in seniors, and dehydration quietly increases that risk without any obvious symptoms. Skipping hydration in the morning silently starts a cascade of problems that can damage the brain, joints, and blood vessels long before any major health crisis is noticed. Studies show that even mild dehydration thickens the blood just enough to raise blood pressure, strain the heart muscle, and reduce oxygen delivery to the brain. Over time, this constant morning stress can silently wear down the brain's delicate tissues, increasing the risk of memory loss, slower thinking, and even dementia. Doctors have observed that seniors who consistently skip water in the morning are more likely to experience morning dizziness, balance problems, and brain fog. These are not just small inconveniences. They are early warning signs that the body's most important systems are struggling to function under pressure. Brain cells need a steady, healthy flow of oxygen and nutrients to repair overnight damage. When the blood is thick and sluggish after waking, that critical delivery system is compromised, and healing is delayed. Skipping morning hydration also places hidden stress on the joints. Experts explain that after age 60, joints already become more vulnerable to stiffness and wear. Water is essential for maintaining the soft, protective cushions between joints. When seniors don't rehydrate first thing in the morning, those cushions remain dry and brittle for longer periods. Over time, this dehydration can quietly worsen joint pain, speed up cartilage breakdown, and even trigger the early onset of arthritis symptoms. The kidneys also struggle when morning hydration is skipped. Doctors explain that kidneys are responsible for filtering toxins out of the blood. Thick, concentrated blood forces the kidneys to work overtime. Over months and years, this extra burden can silently lead to kidney damage, higher toxin levels in the bloodstream, and faster aging of the body's vital systems. Seniors often don't feel these early changes, but the damage is happening quietly with each passing morning. Even the immune system suffers. Researchers show that the lymphatic system, which carries infection-fighting cells through the body, depends on proper hydration to function. Without enough water in the morning, the lymphatic system slows down, leaving the body more vulnerable to infections, slower healing from minor injuries, and greater inflammation throughout the day. Chronic inflammation is a well-known accelerator of aging and disease, especially after 60. Doctors emphasize that a dry start to the day also makes it harder to regulate blood sugar. Studies have found that dehydration raises cortisol levels, the body's main stress hormone. Elevated cortisol early in the day can spike blood sugar unpredictably, exhausting the pancreas and silently raising the risk of diabetes over time. For seniors already managing blood sugar issues, this hidden stress can make a critical difference between stability and dangerous complications. Many seniors believe that having a cup of coffee or tea is enough in the morning, but experts warn that caffeinated drinks act as diuretics, pulling more water out of the body rather than restoring it. While morning coffee can be part of a healthy routine, It must never replace pure water when the body is most dehydrated. Skipping water and relying only on coffee can quietly deepen dehydration, putting even more stress on the heart, brain, and kidneys before the day even begins. Studies also show that seniors who start their mornings without water are more likely to experience fatigue later in the day. When the body is dehydrated, energy production at the cellular level slows down. Muscles tire faster, thinking becomes cloudier, and emotional resilience weakens. Morning hydration is not just about thirst. It's about giving every cell in the body the tools it needs to function properly, heal, and protect itself against aging. The good news is that reversing this dangerous pattern is simple. Doctors explain that drinking a moderate glass of water, about 6 to 8 ounces, within 30 minutes of waking, can dramatically lower the risk of heart attacks, improve mental clarity, support joint health, and help the body detoxify efficiently throughout the day. It's a small, gentle habit with powerful long-term effects. No matter how busy the morning feels, no matter how tempting it is to rush straight to breakfast or coffee, taking a few moments to drink clean, fresh water is one of the most protective gifts you can give to your future self. It's a simple act of care that supports every major organ silently, steadily, and with deep respect for the years of life still ahead. Every morning is a fresh chance to choose healing over harm. Start it with a glass of water, and with it the quiet but powerful promise of a healthier heart, a sharper mind, and stronger days to come. Staying in bed after waking may feel comforting, but doctors warn it can quietly set dangerous processes into motion, especially after age 60. Studies show that long periods of immobility first thing in the morning sharply reduce blood circulation throughout the body. Blood tends to pool in the lower parts of the body, moving more slowly through veins and arteries. This slower movement thickens the blood, silently raising the risk of clots forming inside the vessels. Doctors have observed that blood clots are among the leading hidden dangers facing seniors who delay getting up and moving after waking. When clots form, they can travel silently to critical organs, blocking blood flow without any warning signs. Researchers explain that these clots are a major cause of strokes, heart attacks, and deep vein thrombosis in seniors. A clot that forms after lying still too long in the morning may not cause symptoms right away, but it can suddenly strike hours or even days later with devastating effects. Doctors stress that even just 20 or 30 minutes of unnecessary lying around after waking increases clotting risks far more than most people realize. Staying still also stiffens the joints. Experts explain that while we sleep, the fluid inside our joints settles. Gentle movement in the morning helps re-lubricate the joints, restoring flexibility and cushioning. But when a senior stays in bed too long, joints remain stiff, dry, and vulnerable to injury. Studies show that seniors who delay movement after waking have a higher risk of experiencing sudden joint pain, falls, and balance issues later in the day. Doctors emphasize that even simple movements, like stretching legs, rotating ankles, or sitting up, can start the re-lubrication process and protect long-term mobility. Beyond physical dangers, lying still too long also affects mental clarity. Researchers show that blood flow to the brain is reduced when the body remains in a horizontal position for extended periods. Without enough oxygen and nutrients reaching the brain, thinking slows down, memory recall weakens, and emotional resilience drops. Seniors who linger in bed for long periods often experience more morning confusion, slower reaction times, and feelings of depression without realizing the root cause. Doctors have observed that even mild reductions in early morning brain blood flow can speed up cognitive decline over time. The heart, too, suffers quietly. Experts explain that the heart relies on gentle early morning movement to gradually transition from a resting state to active circulation. Lying still forces the heart to work harder against thicker, slower-moving blood. Over time, this strain quietly weakens heart muscle fibers, increasing vulnerability to irregular rhythms, high blood pressure, and heart failure. Doctors stress that the first hour after waking is critical for setting the tone for cardiovascular health throughout the entire day. Seniors with diabetes or prediabetes face even higher risks when they stay in bed too long. Studies show that delayed movement in the morning worsens insulin resistance, making blood sugar harder to control. Without early movement to activate muscle tissues and metabolism, blood sugar levels tend to spike higher and stay elevated longer. This hidden stress quietly damages blood vessels, eyes, kidneys, and nerves over time, even if blood sugar tests later in the day look normal. Beyond physical damage, staying in bed too long can create a dangerous cycle of inactivity. Doctors have observed that seniors who delay getting up are more likely to feel sluggish, tired, and unmotivated for the rest of the day. This increases the risk of sitting too long, skipping light exercise, and falling into patterns of poor circulation that speed up aging. Researchers call this the inactivity trap, where small decisions in the morning quietly build into bigger risks for frailty, weakness, and serious illness over time. Some seniors stay in bed longer because they believe they are giving their bodies more time to rest and heal. But experts explain that real healing requires healthy circulation, oxygen delivery, and gentle activity to clear waste products from muscles and tissues. True recovery after 60 doesn't happen through stillness alone. It depends on the body, being gently encouraged to move, stretch, and activate. The good news is that simple changes make a huge difference. Doctors explain that moving within 10 to 15 minutes of waking can restart circulation, lower clotting risks, protect the brain, and support the heart naturally. Even small steps, like sitting up slowly, stretching arms and legs, flexing feet, or standing up for a minute or two, can gently wake up the body's systems and protect against the silent dangers of morning immobility. There's no need for intense exercise or rushing. It's about honoring the body's need for flow, for movement, for gentle awakening. It's about listening to what the body truly needs after a night of stillness. The simple act of moving in the morning is one of the most protective gifts a senior can give to their heart, brain, and future independence. Every morning offers a powerful choice. Stay still and let risks quietly build, or rise gently, move with care, and give the body a fresh start toward healing, strength, and resilience. The difference between those two paths can determine not just how you feel today, but how many healthy, joyful years still lie ahead. Choose to move. Choose life. Every morning matters more than you know. Starting the day with a high-sugar breakfast might feel like a small treat, but doctors warn it can set off a silent chain reaction inside the body that speeds up aging and weakens vital organs. Studies show that when seniors eat sugary breakfasts, their insulin levels spike sharply within minutes. This sudden flood of insulin may control blood sugar for the moment, but it also triggers deep, invisible inflammation that harms blood vessels, brain tissues, and the heart without any immediate symptoms. Doctors explain that after 60, the blood vessels are already more fragile. They're more sensitive to damage from the highs and lows of blood sugar swings. When a senior eats a breakfast packed with sugar, like sweet cereals, pastries, flavored yogurts, or even so-called healthy granola bars, the body must work overtime to handle the sugar surge. Researchers have observed that these constant sugar spikes stiffen arteries, narrow blood flow, and raise blood pressure over time. The quiet damage builds slowly, raising the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and vascular dementia without early warning signs. The brain also suffers silently. Experts explain that the hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for memory and learning, is especially vulnerable to sugar-driven inflammation. Studies show that seniors who start their day with sugary foods experience more frequent lapses in short-term memory, slower problem-solving abilities, and greater difficulty focusing during the day. Over time, researchers have observed that high sugar intake is strongly linked to faster brain shrinkage, higher rates of cognitive decline, and an earlier onset of Alzheimer's disease. But the risks don't stop there. Eating a sugary breakfast also disrupts hunger hormones for the entire day. Doctors have observed that seniors who consume high-sugar foods in the morning tend to feel hungrier, crave more unhealthy foods, and eat more calories overall throughout the day. This leads to dangerous weight gain, especially around the belly, a pattern that experts identify as one of the strongest predictors of heart disease, diabetes, and early mortality in aging adults. The body's immune system also pays a hidden price. Researchers show that even one high-sugar meal can reduce the immune system's ability to fight infections by up to 50% for several hours. This leaves seniors more vulnerable to everyday viruses, slower wound healing, and even higher cancer risks. Quietly, morning after morning, a sugary breakfast weakens the body's natural defenses, setting the stage for illnesses that seem to come out of nowhere later on. Many seniors are surprised to learn that foods marketed as healthy are often loaded with hidden sugars. Flavored oatmeal packets, fruit-on-the-bottom yogurts, meal replacement bars, and even some juices can deliver as much sugar as a candy bar without the senior even realizing it. Doctors stress the importance of reading labels carefully. Just because a food says natural, whole grain, or light doesn't mean it's safe for heart, brain, or memory health after 60. Worse yet, the damage from a high-sugar breakfast is not short-lived. Studies show that blood sugar spikes in the morning set the tone for the entire day's metabolism. Seniors who begin the day with a sugar overload have more difficulty stabilizing their blood sugar later, face greater fatigue in the afternoon, and are more likely to experience nighttime blood pressure surges, another hidden risk factor for strokes and heart failure after 60. Doctors have observed that one of the most dangerous habits is combining sugary breakfasts with sitting still for long periods afterward. This combination magnifies blood sugar swings, slows circulation, and increases inflammation in the arteries and brain even further. It's a quiet storm building inside the body every day, leading to damage that only becomes obvious when serious health problems appear months or years later. But the good news is simple and powerful. Changing the first meal of the day can change the future. Experts explain that choosing a breakfast rich in fiber, healthy fats, and slow-digesting proteins, like eggs, unsweetened yogurt with berries, oatmeal with nuts, or a vegetable omelet, can stabilize blood sugar, protect brain cells, lower inflammation, and support a healthy, vibrant aging process. A healthy breakfast isn't just about avoiding sugar. It's about giving the brain and body the steady, nourishing fuel they need to heal, protect, and thrive after 60. Doctors have observed that seniors who switch to low-sugar, nutrient-rich breakfasts experience better memory, sharper focus, more stable moods, and stronger hearts within just weeks. It's easy to think that one sweet breakfast can't cause much harm, but day after day, year after year, the damage quietly builds. Every morning offers a chance to heal or a chance to harm, and the choice starts the moment the first bite passes the lips. Choosing a healthier breakfast is not about giving up joy. It's about choosing a deeper kind of joy, the joy of waking up clear-headed, full of energy, free from the silent risks that steal years and memories away. It's a gift you give yourself every single day. It's a promise to your future. Because after 60, every healthy morning builds a stronger, safer, and more vibrant life ahead. Skipping morning sunlight might seem harmless, but doctors explain it can quietly steal away vital health protections that become even more critical after 60. Studies show that early morning sunlight is one of the most powerful natural tools for resetting the body's internal clock, called the circadian rhythm. Without regular morning light exposure, this clock falls out of sync. Over time, this silent disruption damages sleep quality, weakens bones, clouds mood, and chips away at the body's natural ability to fight illness. Experts explain that the first light of the day carries a unique quality that signals every cell in the body to wake up, repair, and defend. Missing this signal confuses the brain, making it harder for seniors to stay mentally sharp and physically strong. Doctors have observed that without morning sunlight, melatonin, the hormone that controls sleep, is produced at the wrong times. This causes restless nights, daytime fatigue, and eventually a slow breakdown of the body's deep healing cycles. Vitamin D is another crucial reason morning sunlight matters. Researchers show that even a few minutes of early daylight on the skin triggers the body to make vitamin D naturally. After 60, the skin's ability to produce vitamin D declines sharply, making direct sunlight even more critical. Without enough vitamin D, bones weaken, muscles lose strength, and the risk of fractures rises dramatically. Studies show that seniors with low vitamin D levels face a much higher risk of osteoporosis, making falls more deadly and recovery slower. The brain suffers too. Doctors warn that morning sunlight directly influences serotonin, the brain's natural mood booster. When seniors miss morning light, serotonin production drops, leading to a higher risk of depression, anxiety, and emotional instability. Over time, chronic lack of morning sunlight has been linked to higher rates of cognitive decline, memory problems, and even Alzheimer's disease. Researchers have observed that seniors who get regular morning light not only think more clearly, but also enjoy a stronger sense of well-being, energy, and resilience. But the effects reach even deeper. The immune system quietly depends on the daily rhythm set by morning light. Studies show that exposure to early sunlight strengthens the body's natural defenses, helping fight off infections, lower inflammation, and speed up healing. Without this natural reset each day, seniors' immune responses weaken, leaving them more vulnerable to everything from seasonal flu to serious chronic diseases. Many seniors think they get enough light just by being near a window, but doctors explain that indoor light is too weak to have the same effect. To properly reset the body's healing clock, direct exposure to outdoor light without glass between is needed. Even just 5 to 10 minutes in the early morning before 10 a.m. can make a remarkable difference. Experts explain that the angle and type of sunlight during these hours trigger key hormonal responses that simply cannot be replaced by artificial lights. Skipping morning sunlight also worsens a dangerous chain reaction. Without the proper circadian reset, the body produces too much cortisol, the stress hormone, at the wrong times. Elevated cortisol throughout the day damages blood vessels, increases belly fat, weakens memory, and quietly accelerates aging. Over time, seniors who miss morning light not only feel more tired and irritable, but also experience faster wear and tear inside their hearts, brains, and bones without realizing it. Researchers have observed that seniors who spend time outdoors in the morning show stronger bones, better balance, fewer falls, and even a lower risk of serious illnesses like diabetes and cancer. Morning sunlight isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's about protecting the body's most critical systems silently, every single day. Fortunately, the solution is simple and deeply empowering. Doctors encourage seniors to create a gentle habit of stepping outside shortly after waking. A morning walk, sitting on the porch, watering plants, or simply stretching in the sunlight can flood the body with the healing signals it needs. There's no need for long exposure or sunbathing. Just a few quiet minutes in natural daylight can restart the body's rhythm, brighten mood, strengthen bones, sharpen memory, and reinforce the immune system. It's easy to underestimate something so small, but after 60, every little habit either strengthens or weakens the foundation of health. Morning sunlight is nature's free medicine, a silent but powerful force that rebuilds and protects the body from the inside out. Missing it day after day is like missing doses of a critical therapy your body needs to thrive. No matter the weather, no matter the season, stepping into the morning light is an act of self-respect. It's a small daily gift to your heart, your mind, your bones, and your future. It's never too late to reconnect with this ancient natural healer. And every morning you do, you give your body another chance to grow stronger, sharper, and more resilient for the years to come. Item 5. Checking stressful news or emails. Immediately after waking, avoided. Reason: flooding the brain with stress hormones first thing in the morning hardens arteries, disrupts memory formation, and raises blood pressure in seniors. Opening your eyes in the morning should be a gentle return to life, a slow and healing moment. But for many seniors today, that peace is shattered within minutes by one quick habit: checking stressful news, emails, or headlines right after waking. Doctors explain that this simple action can silently set off a chain of reactions inside the body. Reactions that weaken the heart, cloud the brain, and speed up the aging process. Without any obvious warning signs, studies show that the brain is in a highly sensitive state immediately after waking. This is when hormone levels, especially cortisol, are naturally elevated to help the body start the day. But when seniors expose themselves to fear, anger, or overwhelming information too soon, that normal cortisol surge explodes into a flood. Researchers have observed that repeated spikes in cortisol day after day harden the arteries, raise blood sugar dangerously, and create silent inflammation throughout the body. Experts explain that morning stress hardens the arteries by damaging the delicate lining inside blood vessels. Over time, this quiet damage stiffens the vessels, raises blood pressure, and makes the heart work harder with every beat. Seniors are especially vulnerable to this hidden danger because the natural elasticity of blood vessels decreases with age. Doctors warn that starting the day in a state of tension instead of calm dramatically raises the long-term risk of strokes, heart attacks, and memory loss. The brain is not spared either. Studies show that high cortisol levels in the morning interfere with the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. Instead of forming new memories and strengthening mental clarity, the brain becomes stuck in a defensive survival mode. Over months and years, seniors who begin their mornings with emotional stress are more likely to experience memory lapses, foggy thinking, and eventually greater cognitive decline. Doctors have also observed that seniors who flood their minds with bad news or stressful emails early in the day face a higher risk of depression and anxiety. Morning stress disrupts serotonin production, the chemical responsible for feeling calm and balanced. Without enough serotonin to start the day, emotional resilience weakens. Small challenges feel bigger, frustrations linger longer, and the cycle of stress feeds itself, leaving both the mind and body more fragile over time. Blood sugar is another silent victim. Researchers show that cortisol raises blood sugar naturally, preparing the body to move and think. But when extra stress is added on top, blood sugar levels can spike dangerously high, even without eating anything. This repeated assault on the body's blood sugar control can quietly lead to insulin resistance, diabetes, and weight gain, especially around the belly, the most dangerous type of fat for seniors. Doctors emphasize that this damage is not caused by major traumatic events alone. Even small, repeated exposures to stressful news, upsetting emails, or chaotic headlines can chip away at health silently. The brain and body don't distinguish between a real physical threat and a flood of negative information on a screen. Both trigger the same destructive chemical reactions inside. The good news is, seniors can reclaim control and protect their hearts, brains, and futures by choosing a different morning ritual. Experts recommend shielding the first hour after waking from all negative inputs. Instead of reaching for the phone or turning on the news, seniors can focus on slow, nourishing habits that heal rather than harm. Gentle stretching, sipping water, enjoying a peaceful breakfast, stepping into morning sunlight. These small acts anchor the body in calm, resilience, and strength. Even a simple rule like no emails or news until after breakfast can transform health quietly but powerfully over time. Researchers have observed that seniors who start their mornings peacefully have better blood pressure, stronger immune systems, sharper memories, and more emotional resilience. The difference is not just in how the day feels, it's in how the body repairs itself, cell by cell, minute by minute, when given the right conditions. It's easy to underestimate the power of a few small moments. But after 60, the little habits of daily life either quietly protect or quietly destroy health. Starting the day in fear, anger, or urgency hardens the body and the mind faster than almost any other habit. Starting the day in peace, calm, and intention strengthens the core systems that protect life, memory, and independence. Today, make a quiet promise to yourself. Before reaching for the phone, before letting the noise of the world invade your mind, choose yourself, choose healing, Choose peace. Your heart, your brain, and your spirit deserve that first hour of gentleness. It's not just about feeling better. It's about living longer, thinking clearer, and staying stronger year after precious year.